same. For taking us on safe journeys, for travelling free, for twists and turns, for turning the corner, for taking you back to health. Road safety for Territorians.
Kmart Sports is your home of great sports with all the gear you need. Get a massive range of fitness, cycling, sporting equipment and games with clothing for any reason and footwear for all the seasons. From the biggest sporting brands in the world for the very best prices guaranteed. If you're a footy fanatic or a freak for fitness, relish the racket or bikes are your business. Kmart Sports has got you covered with 50 stores Australia-wide. For a great range of great brands at great prices, get in store or shop online at Kmart Sports.
Hello and welcome to TIO Stadium. A huge game of footy on our hands here. Palmerston taking on the Tiwi Bombers, and it's sure to be an absolute ripper. 4th versus 5th, and absolutely everything is on the line here. Dave Kennedy's my name, and I'm soon to be joined by NT News' finest, Gray Morris, who is just finishing off his match report from the last game, which saw Southern Districts 1,000, about 6,000 points they won by. They destroyed the Buffaloes by 140 points. And earlier before then, Nightcliff beat Wanderers. But here we are, we're underway in the Palmerston versus Tiwi Bombers game. And already it's Pierce Little that sends the Magpies forward. They're at half forward. Can they find a way in? It somehow spills out to Elwyn Davey. He kicked the winner last time. He's not going to have a shot on goal this time because Aaron is. And he's going to open the scoring. The Davey brothers combine, and the Magpies lead early. Well, what a perfect start for the black and white army. Elwyn Davey got it to Aaron Davey, put it on the left foot, and he banged it straight through the middle. Opening goal goes to the Magpies, and they lead 1 straight 6. The Bombers yet to score. We've played less than 1 minute on AFL NTV. Huge game of footy here. The 5 yet to be decided. Wanderers today couldn't quite get over the top of Nightcliff, so they remain on 32 points, and both of these two teams also on 32 points. Emery's kick wasn't good. Bradley Palapamini cut it off. John Meeson, though, the handball was too tall for him, which means it was pretty tall. Shanahan got it off. Elwyn Davey kicks inside 50. Can they find a mark? No mark there. On that occasion, it spills down to ground level. And the Bombers are out of trouble almost through McKelwee. Donald Mungatopi. He's well tackled there to Rin Petrie. In fact, the umpire says got him high, and then Mungatopi's kick up towards Gilbert was pretty good. Just couldn't quite take the mark. Bradley Palapamini tries to steady the ship, finds John Meeson at half back. Oh, look at that. The big fella Meeson got around his opponent and then speared one into Jonathan Mullins, who's on the back edge of the centre square, goes wide towards Rin Petrie, kicks into the pocket. It's a perfect kick almost for Matthias Liddy, couldn't quite gather. Lindsay Marine close to the boundary line. He's worked out a play. Boundary throw in. Inside 50 for the Bombers. AFL NTV action. Here it is the Palmerston Magpies, 1 straight 6, leading the Bombers in this one. Rupert Papungamiri unopposed. Went to try and tap that one. There's a whistle though. Something happening off the ball. The umpire's just going to throw that one in again, I think. Hashtag AFL NTV if you want to join in the conversation, of course. A big hello to all our southern viewers that are tuning in to this game. Christian Height, there's a southerner. Aaron Davey, another man who's made a name for himself in the south. Meeson got it off to Stephen Miles, whose kick is intercepted by Elwyn Davey at half back. So the man they call Froggy, looking for options, wanted to go laterally. He's going to be forced to go down the line towards Brodie Bennett. Kick cleared him though. Meeson there to cut it off. The big fellow's working overtime. The former Crow in the early stages of this match, and he's just backwards of centre wing. Meeson, it's a terrible kick. Only as far there as Russell. And there's Gary Purantatamiri trying to weave a way through. Ozzy Wanamiri was all wrapped up. Emery dispossessed him. Ross Tungatalam goes in. Russell tries to palm it in front of himself. Eventually Ross Tungatalam gathers, loses his footing. Now Aaron Davey emerges, kicks in towards the middle of the ground. Mark is dropped by Donald Mungatopi. Rupert Papungamiri picks up the crumbs, goes with the 1-2 to Jonathan Mullins. Papungamiri kept on running. He kicked in towards the forward pocket. No mark taken though for the Tiwi Bombers, and the Magpies able to clear as they go out wide towards Russell. He couldn't quite take it. Tungatalam forces it out of play, which gives us a chance to welcome back to the broadcast Mr. Gray Morris from NT News. Big game on our hands here, Gray.
Yes, no Leroy Jeter out there, unfortunately, for the Magpies, or Cameron Clegg, but they've started on the right foot with a goal to Aaron Davey.
Russell, we know that he's a great story. Gray came into the side from the reserves, and he's having a big influence in the ruck.
Yes, Lieutenant or Captain in the Royal Australian Army. He's as fit as a fiddle, as you can see, or as fit as a trout. And certainly he'll run out the 4 quarters, number 32 there. Obviously hailed from Canberra or deep down south in Victoria and Mexico there somewhere, because his skin is certainly lily white.
Classic Gray Morris there. Lindsay Marine won himself a free kick. I got no idea how, but he's going to go back and have a shot on goal, Gray.
I'll have to be careful how I say this, David, but that free kick was plucked out of the pack. And it's a goal.
Can he pluck a goal? Yes, he can. Lindsay, the submarine, kicks the first for the Tiwi Bombers. And they level things up, 1 straight apiece.
This is the danger time now for Palmerston. They've kicked a goal early, but the Tiwis have probably been on top for the last 3 or 4 minutes. So the Magpies have to hold here and control the football a little bit, because if the Tiwis get a run on, as we saw last week, David, the damage can be dreadful.
It's amazing once the Bombers get a run on, Gray, what they can do. 1 straight apiece here on AFL NTV. Winners earlier today. Nightcliff defeating Wanderers. The Southern Districts, well, not sure who they defeated, because the other team barely rocked up. If you read the fixture carefully, though, it says Buffaloes. Meantime, Durkay put it towards half forward. No mark is taken. Footy tumbles inside 50. What can the Magpies manage? Little clever handball out of trouble there towards Albert Tippenwoody. Still hasn't gathered. Now he does. Goes laterally. And the Bombers have time to steady. Little one over the top towards Christian Height.
That's all right, I can say, Mark.
Yes, they love to spread, don't they, these Tiwis? And here they go down the scoreboard wing.
It's out wide. And they want Tippenwoody to run back onto it. He does. And they just move that really well, Gray, on that far side of the ground. Now Roy Cantilla with the shot coming up from inside 50.
It's a real L shape, that, isn't it? They started here in the back pocket and the right-hand side, went across goal down the scoreboard wing, as I've done for the 10 years I've been in the competition, and here we go, we're lining up for goal. So nothing much has changed in a decade, Dave, with the Tiwi Bombers.
And Cantilla's an in as well, Gray. He just adds to that forward line that already boasts Ross Tungatala, Matthias Liddy as 2 goal kickers inside the top 5 in the NTFL. Here's Cantilla. Has he got the distance, or is it touched on the line? He celebrates, and so he should. It's a goal, and the Bombers hit the lead.
Yes, given a bit of room to move, that's the damage that they can do. We all know that. But saying something and actually doing it against the Tiwi is pretty tough, because they're such fleet of foot. And of course their poise and vision is very good when they're on, Dave. When that on switch has been pressed, it's very hard to turn it off.
2 straight goals to the Tiwi Bombers. They lead the Magpies 1 straight 6. 8 minutes gone on AFL NTV in this blockbuster late game here at TIO Stadium in Marara. Dave Kennedy's my name, and I'm joined by Gray Morris from NT News as we're about to get back underway. Doing the ruck work here, Jabaston Priest against Big Russell. Ross Tungatalam from the clutches wins the clearance. Is that a push out there from Marine? It is. The mark was taken anyway. And the umpire's put his arm up in the air. Here we go. What's going on here? It's 50 for going over the mark.
This is when the Magpies, of course, have to be very clever with their ball use, because if they give it over, if they surrender it, the Tiwi Bombers, as we know, Dave, very good in transition.
This is Randy Mungatopi. He goes laterally.
Of course, the word I was looking for is turnover. You cannot afford to turn the ball over against this Tiwi Bombers side.
Very true, and as you say, a measured build-up, and now Emery winds up in towards Holt Tubbs. It comes off hands. Baden tries desperately to keep it in. Eventually it spills through for a first behind of the game.
Now here we go. Let's just watch these Tiwis out of the back half there, Dave. Straight down the ground there, which is a beautiful kick.
Look at that. It's just the perfect kick. Vivian Kiranua takes the mark at centre half back, and then hands off to the runner. Adam Tippenwoody shrugs his opponent. 2 kicks, and they're already towards 50. This time it comes unstuck. Good defensive mark is taken there by Jamie Damaso, who switches play. And now Charlton White, the handball off to Alex Johnson. They're overusing it. Charlton White had to bend down and pick it up. Once again, Michael Pettigrew. There's a bit of experience. He gets it right out of the danger zone. Daniel Russell takes the mark.
Gee, he looks a good footballer, this guy from Mexico.
Casper, white as a ghost. As he goes up towards half forward. No mark taken there by Brodie Bennett. Spills out of play.
Let's hope, David, he's got liberal amounts of what's it called, the anti-sunburn cream.
Yeah.
Although he is playing under light, so he should be fairly safe.
He's up to par by my standards.
Russell. There he is again. He won the tap down, but the Bombers work it out through the congestion. Bradley Palapamini, who's been a big part of the Bombers' resurgence. And now that kick in board, Ross Tungatalum. He had to get fancy. Elwyn Davey claims him. And look at this. This is a real scrag at ground level. Davey and Tungatalum. There's some talent wriggling around on the ground there, Gray.
Dave Kennedy's favourite player, Ross Tungatalum. And here we go, the big fellow Russell. He's doing well early, Dave.
I don't play favourites, Gray, but he's he has to be up there. He's a good player to call. That's for sure. And there he is once again, tapping it in front of himself. And now another one of my favourites, Rupert Bapungamiri. Another one of my old favourites, Elwyn Davey, who used to be a Bomber, no longer a Bomber. Bradley Palapamini, whistle. It's going the Bombers' way.
Gee, not a lot in there. This is what...
Yeah, Tungatalum.
Of course, if we had Mark Noon on the umpire's box next to it, he'd explain it in detail, I guess.
Have a look at this. Aussie Wanamiri shoots and scores. Another goal for the Bombers. And the former Demons on the board.
Yes, and he will become a real demon for the Magpie defence unless they work something out in a hurry, because the Tiwis have kicked the last 3 goals, Dave, and look very good.
Jeez. We've already had a blowout in our first game, Gray. We don't want to have a blowout now. I'm not predicting anything, and we know that Palmerston not traditionally good starters. They've been blown out of the water by St Mary's in recent times, and last week they conceded a 32-point advantage to the Buffaloes early on and somehow managed to come back from the clouds. So they're not great starters, the Magpies.
No, and no team takes advantage more than these red jumpers.
Petrie under some pressure. Mason, he's brought to a standstill by a great tackle from Brodie Bennett. The umpire calls for the footy.
Well, we're talking about jumpers too. It's disappointing to see both sides in black shorts.
Yeah, it makes it a bit difficult. As
fortunately, we've got the red and the black and white stripes, but yeah, it's very unusual.
Charlton White and Mason tangle, and the umpire says holding the ball against Mason. So Charlton White, hands off, Brodie Bennett. This is a high ball.
They haven't got much down there.
Oh, big fly there. McKelwey couldn't quite come down with that. Albert Tippenwoody there to mop up. And the Bombers are going to try and clear towards Vivian Kiranua. It was a big fly.
Gee, that's the difference, though, Dave. They haven't got a Cameron Cloak or a Mark Hamilton down there.
Yeah. And in the end, the target there was number 14, Toby Cameron.
Yes.
So.
And he is number 14, he's not number 15.
He's number 14, Gray, yeah.
Because there's 2 15s, and when I went to school, 2 into 1 did not go. If you know what I mean. But he's number 14, is he?
He's number 14. There was a square off before the game. Both players, it was Randy Mungatopi and Toby Cameron were both listed on our team sheet as number 15. They must have rock, paper, scissored or
something like that, yep.
Some other masculine activity to square off for the number 15. And it looks like Randy Mungatopi came up trumps. Meantime, Albert Tippenwoody, hands off. Bradley Palapamini.
Here's trouble.
Now, Adam Tippenwoody's peeled off half-back. Handball over the top. Lindsay, the submarine, puts it to the top of the goal square. And they find a mark. It might be Simon Munkara.
Once again, Magpies in possession. Made a slight error of judgment. Quick handball there from Ross Tungatallum to a teammate, and lo and behold, the veteran Bomber about to slam through his first. And
he slammed it into the post.
he slammed it all right, but into the upright. It almost come back and hit him right between the eyes, actually. So Simon there almost got a big shock, Dave.
Davey plays on and then kicks long. Charlton White takes the mark. And then he kicks wide. Finds Brodie Bennett, who's had a bit of it early. So the Magpies building. Kicked it into the man on the mark, John O'Mullins, who sharked the footy into his own possession and then won himself a ball up. So that's one of the first rules you learn in footy, isn't it, Gray? Kick over the man on the mark.
Yes, give yourself plenty of room.
Magpies making some vital mistakes early, and at the moment they trail by 2 goals. There's Dion Munkara, Pierce Little, just fraternising close to the boundary line. Tell you what, Pierce Little, he's not the type of guy you want to mess with, is he? He's
tough as nails is Pierce, yes, comes from his Centralian upbringing. The famous Little footballing family down there. Legend of Alice Springs. Rupert tries to push them off, though.
Yeah, he loves the don't argue. It somehow works out. Dion Munkara, Gary Purantatamiri up towards the top of the goal square. Ball cleared Liddy. Allowed Pettigrew to mop up, and then a good clearing kick. Charlton White with some time and space. The leads come from further up the ground. Lonigan's the direction he goes. Just popped it up a bit too high, though. McKelwey had time to get back and punch it out of play. And a boundary throw-in is the result. Almost 17 minutes gone in the first term. It's the Tiwi Bombers leading this one, 19-7. 3-1-19 to 1-1-7. Levi, 3-1-19 to 1-1-7 on the scoreboard as the Bombers move it up towards half forward. Sorry about that, just talking to our director at the moment, holding the ball. Free kick is going to go here to Priest. Hands off, and now the Bombers inside 50. Can they find a mark? It comes off hands. Aaron Davey towards Pierce Little and John O'Mullins. There's water carriers everywhere. The umpire's going to ping one of them.
Must have been holding him off the ball.
No, they ping the water carrier, Gray.
It's shocking.
Jonathan Mullins, and the players are all in the wrong position. They ran the wrong way. Lindsay Marine had space to go into Simon Munkara. Good defence, though, from Johnson to force that one out of play. Boundary throw-in.
Yeah, some good play, but they're almost hanging on here a bit, the Magpies. They haven't got much up forward. I can't understand why they haven't got Bennett in the goal square. I mean, I know the young fella there for Palmerston, Holt Tubbs, is a real goer, but they want a bit of height, I'd say.
Well, the Bombers have a bit of height, and he's around the footy. Christian height, that is. Dion Munkara, Lindsay Marine, now Christian height. Can't quite pick it up, though. Still close to the boundary line. Dion Munkara sees it out of play in front of Dylan Cooper. Boundary throwing inside 50 for the Bombers.
Not a player forward of the middle for at all. They're all down chasing that bit of pigskin, though.
Hard to see how Palmerston score this way, Gray. If there's a defensive run from the Bombers, you'd back them for speed coming back. And look at this. Look at the numbers that the Bombers have here. They had 4-on-1.
5-on-1, wasn't it?
And now they sort it out. Roy Cantilla goes inboard. Kiranua kicks to a dangerous spot, but there's no one home.
That's the only benefit of putting a run back, or what they used to call a press.
High contact free kick going to Toby Cameron. This is where we're looking at Donald Mungatopi's work back well. So the Magpies might have sorted themselves out well here. Pierce Little,
Beautiful
another one
kick.
over the top to Lonigan. who takes the mark. Emery's running very hard. He goes in that direction. The kick wasn't great, though. Bradley Palapamini able to affect that one. The two number 4s battle it out. It's the Bombers number 4 that wins. Gary Purantatamiri is recipient of the kick, and then he goes inboard. It's a dangerous kick. Russell was able to affect it. Cantilla couldn't quite gather. Russell got it on the boot just in the nick of time. Kicked inside 50. Donald Mungatopi almost came down with it. In fact, Gary Purantatamiri came down with it. And then he wants to switch play.
Don't like the look of this forward, the Magpie forward line, Dave. Although here's a chance.
Holt Tubbs over the top there. Gilbert, partially affected kick to Aaron Davey. Back to Gilbert. Tried to spin his way out of trouble. Bradley Palapamini forced to mop up again to Christian Height. Elwyn Davey got body contact on him, and then he got it to Priest, who got it back to Christian Height. Oh! Pierce Little absolutely tried to absolutely clothesline him there. Didn't make contact. Meantime, Gary Purantatamiri to Roy Cantilla. Swings around the corner on the left. It's going to be touched on the last line. In fact, it's still in. Pettigrew keeps it in. And then he clears to Charlton White. It would have been a great bump if had that connected great.
Yes, but would it have been legal, Doug?
That's the question. I didn't say it would have been legal. I said it would have been a great bump.
Yeah.
But Pierce Little, he's got his elbow bandaged, and he was going in on that elbow, I think. So he just has no regard for his own the sanctity of his own body, does he, Gray?
He doesn't.
Here he is.
It's another mark, though, in the back line to the Tiwis. I've got to work something out here, the Magpies. Can't get past half forward.
Priest. And now Adam Tippenwoody. Wide towards Dion Munkara. 2 to beat. The 2 prevail. And it's out of play.
19 plays 7 here, so certainly the Tiwis with the early advantage, but still a lot like to see a tool down there on the Magpie forward line. Just to create a few question marks in that well-oiled Tiwi defence.
Russell tapped it down, now Miles. Eventually it spills out there to Gilbert, who kicks in board. Pierce Little disposed of Mullins. Clever play. Plays on into the pocket. It's a perfect kick. And the Magpies will go back and have a shot on goal.
Yes, some very smart play there by Pierce Little. And to say this is will be a badly needed goal is probably an understatement, Dave.
Has the shot on goal, and it goes straight through the middle. So a goal to the Magpies, and
that man was...
might have been Johnson, I think. I'm not 100% sure, Gray. No, it's not Johnson.
He's still got his front to us, hasn't he?
He's very cleverly avoiding any sort of scrutiny here from the media team, and it's Aaron Lonigan that kicks the goal, Gray.
Thank you. I'll just scribe that down.
And he becomes the second goal kicker for the Magpies. 1 to Lonigan, 1 to Aaron Davey.
Gee, they had to work overtime for that, but still it's on the board.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
The main thing.
13 plays 19, and it's just 1 goal the difference. Ross Tungatalam in a battle here with Lachlan Durkade. Tungatalam content to go off the ground. Now he's got Charlton White to deal with, who just bent down, picked up the footy perfectly, and got it off to Lachlan Durkay. They move it up towards the wing. No mark is taken. There's the quarter-time siren. So a late goal to the Magpies ensures the margin is just 1 goal at quarter-time. A delicious encounter on AFL NTV, if you don't mind. The Bombers and the Magpies. Stick with us after the quarter-time break. More action on the other side of this.
After a hard day's work, you deserve it. When you're catching up with mates, you deserve it. Grabbing a bite with the missus. You deserve it. But drive after a few. You deserve it. A road safety message from TIO.
Every cigarette you smoke inside your car hurts the ones you love. And some of them don't have a choice. The next time you decide to have a cigarette, think about who else you're hurting. Smoking can kill those close to you. For help, call the Quit line.
Do you know a family in crisis? Contact the North Australian Aboriginal Family Violence Legal Service. We provide legal advice, representation, referral services and support to family and community. Break the chains of family violence today. Healing NT Families. For more information, call us today.
For Territorians, the roads are more than bitumen. They connect us. For TIO, it's the same. For taking us on safe journeys, for travelling free, for twists and turns, for turning the corner, for taking you back to health. Road safety for Territorians.
Amart Sports is your home of great sports with all the gear you need. Get a massive range of fitness, cycling, sporting equipment and games with clothing for any reason and footwear for all the seasons. From the biggest sporting brands in the world for the very best prices guaranteed. If you're a footy fanatic or a freak for fitness, relish the racket or bikes are your business. Amart Sports has got you covered with 50 stores Australia-wide. For a great range of great brands at great prices, get in store or shop online at Amart Sports today.
Stop heat stress before it starts. Geminex has a wide range of hydration products, including camelbacks and cooling vests, air skis and coolers, rehydration drinks and accessories, all designed to ensure your safety in the sun. For a limited time, purchase a box of 20 Squincher 3.8 litre powder concentrate sachets and receive 2 3.8 litre coolers absolutely free while stocks last. Rehydrate, restore and recharge at Geminex, Winnelli and Pinelands.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium. The second quarter of action is about to get underway on AFL NTV. Palmerston taking on the Tiwi Bombers. Just one goal in it at quarter time. Dave Kennedy's my name. Gray Morris is the man next to me. And Gray, the game is reasonably evenly poised with that late goal to the Magpies at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, very handy goal to Aaron Lonigan there right on the quarter-time siren after the Tiwis had most of the play, and they'll be a bit disappointed that they're only 6 points in front.
Here we go. Meeson gets up high, taps it down. Elwyn Davey wins the clearance though. He kicks inside 50. Magpies with a chance here through Holt Tubbs. Just handballed it up in the air. Needs someone to run onto it. And in the end, Shanahan is the man that runs onto it, but he's all wrapped up. Ball up, inside 50 for the Magpies where they want it, where Dean Rioli wants it.
Wouldn't you love a Cameron Cloak down there on that occasion? A beautifully weighted ball by the Frog.
It might not matter. Shanahan emerges from the clearance and bangs it through. We're all tied up here at TIO.
Yes, well worked goal there. They got numbers around it. Quick handball, and Jack Shanahan said, I might kick a goal here and level the scores and keep the crowd on their toes.
Well, he certainly has, and it is 3-1-19 apiece on AFL NTV. This game has promised so much, and at the moment it's delivered in spades. Great, a very entertaining game of footy. 3-1-19 apiece, 1 minute gone. Second quarter on AFL NTV as the big men go up for battle. Russell versus Meeson. No one really wins it. The Bombers might win the clearance though. Meeson, awkward left foot kick. Might work out to Mullins though. Pierce Little applies the pressure. Mullins works it back. Munkara distributes to Rupert Papungamiri, who tries to palm one off. Got the handball off in the process though to Mullins, who went inside to Gary Purantatamiri. Attacking edge of the square. Kicks inside 50. No one able to take the mark. Just a high up and under from Pettigrew. Puts everyone under pressure. Charlton White couldn't take the mark, neither could Aaron Davey. At ground level, it spills inside 50. Lindsay Maureen here for the Bombers. What can he do? He can't quite gather. Still in dispute. Russell just throws it on the boot. Only as far as Gary Purantatamiri. His wide kick to Bradley Palapamini works out. Sorry, it's Adam Tippenwoody works out. And he kicks a goal. The Bombers have the response.
Yes, floating down from the back line, Adam Tipperwoody, of course, last year's Engineers rising star, made no mistake. Anticipated well then to answer that early goal from the Magpies, Dave.
He did. 4-1-25 the Bombers, 3-1-19 the Magpies. 2.5 minutes gone on AFL NTV in the second term here at TIO, where earlier today Nightcliff defeated Wanderers. Southern Districts annihilated the Buffaloes. At the moment, this is the close one. We've got the close one, Gray. 4-1-25. The Bombers, the Magpies, 3-1-19. This one out towards the boundary line. Munkara taps it in front of himself. Amazing awareness of the boundary line and how close he is to it. In the end, dribbles one. Emery. Geez, he was about to get railroaded there by Austin Wanamiri. Just pulled out the last minute. Now Christian Height has won himself a free kick. Height puts it inside 50. Wanamiri, one-handed effort. It comes off hands. Damaso, the umpire calls him to play on. He tried to claim the mark. Maybe a little bit unlucky not to be paid it in the end. And now a free kick. Nope, the umpire just tapping his hand. I haven't seen that signal before, Gray.
Yeah, it's an unusual one, but Gee, Jamie DeMasso, they did everything but earn a free kick.
Height won it from the clearance and kicked it out of bounds on the full.
Just as we've done a little bit here, I think. Working very hard, the Magpie defence. Working overtime, though, which is a bit of a worry. A long way to go yet.
Magpies out of defence. Vivian Kiranua got a much-needed fist. Dion Munkara's kick, though, only as far as Donald Mungatopi on his defensive 50. And the Magpies look to switch play. Kick finds Broderick Church, who goes over the top and can distribute to Elwyn Davey. Looks inboard towards Pierce Little. It's a great transition, isn't it, great? Little doesn't really want to have a shot on goal. He's in two minds here, Pierce. Now he goes short towards Holt Tubbs. That's where it comes unstuck. And Bradley Palapamini got the handball to Christian Height, to Dion Munkara, and then they flick the handball wide. The Bombers are out of trouble. Mullins inboard. Rupert Papungamiri. He can go over the top. He's got a runner here. Good work on the mark there from Randy Mungatopi. Lindsay Maureen was free in space. In the end, he goes inboard and finds Gary Purantatamiri just forward of the centre square. His kick was a high one. It didn't really go towards any target in the end. Daniel Russell cuts it off for the Magpies.
Been very good again as he has a big fellow from down south.
He has.
Certainly has the ability to fill in a hole.
Jeez, you can hear the Bronx cheers from the crowd as Russell just wrong-footed his Tiwi Bombers opponents. The big fella giving them a bit of his own medicine, a bit of their own medicine. Then he went off the ground. And close to the boundary line. Still in. Marine keeps it in somehow. Dion Munkara wanted it. Marine said, I can take 2 bounces, run to 40 and do it myself. Not quite. It's going to go across the face.
Lindsay Maureen. Very, very good in that game before Christmas that we saw, David, when they tore Nycliffe apart. He's been suspended since, but about his second or third game back, I reckon, and starting to run into a bit of form.
Dangerous kick to Daniel Russell. That man Marine sharked it to Austin Wanamiri, to Simon Munkara, and then a goal. The Bombers extend.
Yes, one slight mistake there by the big fellow Russell, and he had red jumpers all around him. And of course, Austin Wanamiri left unmarked. Just went, thank you very much. Gave it to Simon Munkara, of course, the veteran, who makes up for that poster he kicked in the first quarter, though.
Yeah, it was uncharacteristic for Simon. And I guess he's still getting used to being back. Second game in, 3 years, Grant?
Yes, it is, yes. Overcome a knee injury, so terrific compliment there to Simon the Pieman, as they call him over there.
Simon the Pieman. I'm not sure that's a very complimentary nickname, is it?
Well, he likes his pies, apparently. Especially when there's tomato sauce. Here we go.
Tyron Baden wanted Brodie Bennett. Christian Height was wearing him like a glove, though. Now Bradley Palapamini. Roy Cantil is also there. The Magpies just trying to edge it forward as best they can. Good work there to get it over the top. Aaron Davey towards Toby Cameron to the hot spot. Clean hands there. Holt Tubbs to Little. Then his kick came unstuck. Now Priest got around Little. Kick short, found Palapamini, who wants to go long and wide. Russell and Vivian Kiranua. Who wins this battle? Russell uses his body well, and he won himself a free kick. No, umpire pointed the wrong way. So Kiranua up towards centre half forward. Pettigrew, he hit the ball hard but left it behind. Ross Tungatalan picked up the loose footy towards Matthias Liddy. Simon Munkara waited out the back and dribbled through another one. 2 goals in 3 minutes to Simon Munkara. Sees the Bombers clear by 3 goals.
Yes, and interestingly, both goals will come from slight miscalculations of judgment from the big fellow Russell. Out there on the wing there, he was harassed by Vivian Kiranua, gave away a free kick, and of course a goal before he dropped that mark in the back pocket. So I think the Tiwis have realised that he is a danger man to them, so they'll stick with him and harass him, and it's worked on 2 occasions at least.
Well, 6-2-38 the Bombers. They're leading the Magpies by 19 points, 3-1-19, exactly half their score. In dispute in the middle of the ground, Baden. Little left foot kick, doesn't travel the required distance, but they get it out all the same and win the clearance, the Magpies. Tumbling ball, Aaron Lonigan's the hope for the Magpies. Kiranua's there for the Bombers, and they work it out of play. Boundary throw in at half forward for the Magpies after 1.5 minutes in this second term, Gray.
Yes, what's the difference here, Dave? 19 points, you're right, they've doubled them. And I'm still not convinced about their forward line, the Magpies. They really need to get something organised here. Just looking at the full forward, that's still Holt Tubbs. They've still got Holt Tubbs down there in the square.
I need to get the binoculars out, Gray. I can't see that far. You've done well.
I've got mini binoculars, of course, with the glasses, but I actually look over the top of them at games. There's the big fellow Russell.
He's in there once again. Magpies can't find a ball winner. Roy Cantilla for the Bombers is the man that works it through the congestion. Spills out towards Petrie and then out of play. Willie Rioli Jr., a notable
omission, yes. It's gone down to complete pre-season with Glenelg in the SANFL. Pretty keen on a Sandford career, which means, of course, that he's not going to play for Thunder this season. So another loss to NT Thunder.
Look at Ross Tungatalum. Accelerate away and put it up towards half forward. Wanamiri, did he get one high? Play on, Lindsay Maureen almost left it behind, then got it over the top to Wanamiri, spearing pass towards Simon Munkara, didn't take it. Matthias Liddy's there, still in dispute, about 20 metres out from goal. The Magpies are trying desperately to defend here. Pettigrew got it out towards Church. Marine threw his body on the line. Baden's there. It spills out of play. Boundary throw in. Everyone throws their arms up in the air. The umpire says, just throw it in, mate.
Certainly working overtime, aren't they, the Magpies? Danger signs here, I'm afraid. If you're, for those Magpie supporters watching in, Istanbul, London, New York, wherever.
Wherever you're watching around the world. This is AFL NTV, and it's the Bombers going forward through Jonathan Mullins. He kicks it to a dangerous spot. There's no one home, though. The Magpies should clear through Baden. Got the handball out to Russell. He left it behind. And then the mystery man, number 30. Not sure who he is. Must be a change of jumper there. Donald Mungatopi. Gathered. Spearing kick up towards Pierce Little, who takes the mark. 90 metres out from home. Little one back over the top to Donald Mungatopi, who kept on running. Still probably too far out to score. Turkey runs past. That's the direction he goes in.
That's the next move from the half-forward line, the transition into the forward line that's worked this time, and a shot here for, looks like the other Durkay, is it?
Lachlan Durkay, yep.
Yeah,
must kick this, Lachlan.
They do.
Has flashed in and out of the game tonight, has not been... has been effective enough, but certainly not the ball carrier that the Magpies want.
In comes Durkay, important kick. Just about the 50 paint work. He looks pretty happy about it. And why not? He's banged it through.
Yes, an important goal there. They work very hard for it, and those guys down in the back line, the Magpie defenders will be taking a big breath because they have been working at 100%, 110% capacity to keep the Tiwis at bay, but the Tiwis have kicked how many goals this quarter?
They kicked 3 this quarter, Grant.
3 goals to 2, so it's a fairly even quarter thanks to that hard-working Magpie defence. They need more out of their midfield. They need more constructive use of the football.
13 points the margin.
In other words, they must hang on to the football a bit longer because once those Tiwis get it, it's all chase, Doug.
It is. Whole tub's been thrown into the ruck now. Interesting. It's... definitely not the side that Dean Rioli thought he was going to have, I don't think. Brodie Bennett, meantime, puts it inside 50. Daniel Russell has been moved forward, so he's the tall option up forward for the Magpies, and they'd expect him to just bring it to ground, you'd feel.
Well, he can take a mark, so That's what they'll be hoping as he walks back onto his opponent. I'm just looking at whose the media opponent is. Is that McElwee, 45? Hard to see from here.
Yeah, I remember that kid that came in with him.
Certainly they've had enough opportunities. They just haven't been able to convert that very quick Tiwi Bomber backline.
Mason.
Whoops.
And now Gary Purantatamiri. Ross Tungatalam left it behind. Rupert Papungamiri. Geez, he was floored. It was a good hit. Alwyn Davey, meantime, mopped up and kicked it towards centre half forward. The big fella, Rupert Papungamiri, still down behind play. Meantime, Aaron Lonigan in a scrap here with McKelwey. And Jonathan Mullins comes up and emerges with the footy to Dion Munkara. Back to McElwee. I'm going to go with McElwee. That's correct.
He's dropped the ball, hasn't he? Yeah, McElwee. Did he drop the ball? I think he's been pinged. I'm just looking at Rupert. I think he's ended up with a corky out of that.
Alwyn Davey towards Russell. Clears everyone out the back. Adam Tippenwoody not taking any risks. Aaron Davey claimed him. Geez.
Yes, big Rupert over there, still bending over, still trying to walk out that corky he's got, probably in the upper part of his left leg by the look of it. I reckon he'll be having a spell on the bench pretty soon.
Look at this, the Bombers canter out of defence here, Gray. Gary Purantatamiri, he really should have taken that mark. Allowed Brodie Bennett back into it. Yeah, he did well. Holt Tubbs, penetrating ball inside 50. Bombers have the numbers. How will they mop up McElwee? Got it off, and the Bombers are just about out of trouble here. Mullins takes the mark in the back pocket.
And Rupert's still limping through the middle there, number 33. A number made famous, of course, by Junior Boy Rioli at Hawthorn and Darryl White at Brisbane.
Over the top, the Bombers go towards Bradley Palapamini, but Alwyn Davey cut it off, kicked inside 50. Here's big Daniel Russell front and centre, couldn't quite take it. Clever handball there from Shanahan to Lonigan, who's claimed. And the umpire says, holding the ball.
He didn't have all that much prior opportunity. He tried to get the handball away, but was pinned.
Here's a man that's been down on his regular output, Ross Tungatalam. That's a great kick, though. Finds Turin Petrie, who looks in board, Tiwi style, and finds Christian Height. Inside 50, Matthias Liddy, the target. Cleared him. Simon Munkara at ground level. His handball only as far as Emery. He was upended, though. And then a chance at ground level here. Simon Munkara not able to...
Oh, hang on. Bit of push and shove there. Bit of feeling in this game, Dave, which is good because it's being played in a real finals atmosphere, of course, because there's final spots up for grabs here.
And it's only 2 goals the difference, great, so it's anyone's game still. Bombers inside 50 at the moment. Emery, though, clears defence.
Nice kick.
It was a good kick and a good mark was taken as well. And the handball to Alwyn Davey there came from Charlton White, who took that mark just then, and then the kick towards Lonigan. The umpire found a free kick, though.
Yes, he was grabbed. Tippy Touchwood, though.
Lonigan's kick was intercepted by Albert Tippenwoody.
Played his 100th NTFL game earlier this season, did Albert, with that customary strapped left knee.
Adam Tippenwoody wide towards Gary Purantatamiri. Drops another mark. What can he do at ground level? Brodie Bennett corrals him. Handballs off. Toby Cameron couldn't quite take it. Gary Purantatamiri. Now Christian Height. There's the cleanliness the Bombers needed to Turin Petrie. Gary Purantatamiri. He's dancing around and then going towards Ross Tungatalam in the middle. He had 2 to beat. He beat a 3rd. He beat a 4th. He ran to 51 metres out. Ross Tungatalam misses. Oh, that would have been something else, Gray Morris.
And if you didn't think Ross Tungatalam was Dave Kenty's favourite player, you would think that now.
I said He's one of my favourite players, Gray.
He is a silken skill player. Should still be running around there from the red, black and white of St Kilda as far as I'm concerned.
Alex Johnson.
There's a big fellow again. Once again he hasn't taken that first grab.
Oh, then a big palm off. Did well to get it out of the danger zone in the end, but it's all Bombers across the middle of the ground here. Christian Haidt takes the mark.
He's been very, very good. This Christian Haidt has indeed risen to great heights, as you said earlier.
Yeah, he's a premiership player with the Bombers, isn't he? Great. Priest, inside 50. Wanamiri. Clever little tap, then Liddy off the ground towards Simon Munkara. Already 2 goals this quarter.
Crawling after it was Simon the Pieman there.
And Johnson sees it through for a behind.
It was almost like the football was a meat pie, wasn't it? He wanted it badly.
Oh, classic. That's vintage Gray Morris, that. Alwyn Davey inside defensive 50. To Russell. To Toby Cameron.
The big fellow, Russell, they need the big fella to start taking those grabs again. That was a throw disguised as a handball there.
Wesley Black, I think that might have been. The kick inside 50 only as far as Aaron Davey. He needs to lift as well for the Magpies. Gets around Marine. Finds Randy Mungatopi. Back edge of the centre square for the Magpies. High kick. It's a 3-on-1.
Terrific,
and
Mark.
The 1-1 out. And that's Keaton Holt-Tubbs. He's got the mystery man, number 30, in space.
He's got the pigtail up and running.
Elects to go wider towards Pierce Little.
What's happened here? Yes. Pierce in front. You must play in front in a game like this, Dave. The umpires will look after you.
Just 13 points the difference. If Palmerston can snare the next one, make things interesting. Inside 50 and a boundary throw in the result after a big contest. The ball forced off hands. Almost 21 minutes gone, so we're in time on, and we've only had 5 goals this quarter in total.
Real finals pressure here. The Magpies doing well, but they must start converting.
Here we are in close. Dion Munkara. Pierce Little claims him illegally, says the umpire.
Yeah, little bit of over anxiousness there by Pierce, and as the Tiwi spread as they do, they'll go wide here. Yes, they will.
Towards Roy Cantilla. Russell over the top. Punches it out of play. Another boundary throw in. A minute later, 21 and a half minutes gone in the second term here on AFL NTV. 14 points the margin.
Certainly what they need there from Big Russell. A very comprehensive spoil. Whoops, he ran under it then though.
Dion Munkara.
Oops.
Towards Lachlan Durkay. He didn't take the mark though. Now Lindsay Maureen to Roy Cantilla. Shrugs one tackle, goes backwards. Unconventional. Lindsay Maureen couldn't quite get to it. Russell got to it. Lachlan Durkay was flattened. And the umpire says he got one high.
I reckon he's got him right in the middle of the back too. Not much fun. It's just a bit like facing those West Indian pacemen of the 1980s. Not much fun, Dave. Not that I ever did get to face them, of course, but certainly watched them many times.
Classic. Randy Mungatopi to Daniel Russell to Justin Emery. He just sends it on its way. It's a bit of a kick and hope.
Here's a go.
It might work out though. Alwyn Davey. Geez, he got stage fright and just dived backwards. It allowed Albert Tippin-Woody out of the danger zone. Towards the middle of the ground, the Bombers are on here. Little one off the ground there from Cantilla, but then he lost his footing. And Damaso had a chance to gather the loose footy. Little crunches the pack, and so does Holt-Tubbs. He takes a superb mark.
He's coming into the game. Is Keaton, is it? Or Kieran?
Keaton, yep, Keaton Holt-Tubbs. Still 75 metres out. Long bomb to the goal square. Oh, and a superb mark is taken. Lonergan will go back and have his shot at goal number 2.
Good signs for the Magpies too. A couple of hands on heads there from the Tiwi backman. They're under siege just a little bit, the Tiwi backman. Willie Rioli, the coach, talked about it in the paper today, that their defensive work needs a bit of polishing.
In comes Lonergan. Needs to kick the goal, and he misses.
Yes, you're right. You need to, all that hard work and to miss away to the left. Not a good result from Aaron. I'm sure he knows that. He wouldn't need us to explain that to him. Whoops, here we go.
Oh, Tungatala put under pressure by Tip and Woody's kick in.
Easily out of trouble though, wasn't he?
And then he had to split two Palmerston defenders. And he did it with aplomb. Gary Purantatamiri took the mark on centre wing Gray.
See, this is the danger time. Now they'll run it right from the last line of defence down to their forward line.
Marine back to Purantatamiri. Simon Munkara didn't quite, and the siren beats the Bombers. At half-time, it's a low-scoring affair. The Bombers, 6-4-40, leading the Magpies by 13 points, 4-3-27. Half-time here at TIO. Make sure you stick with us. This is the most important game of the season so far in the NTFL, so stick around.
After a hard day's work, you deserve it. When you're catching up with mates, you deserve it. Grabbing a bite with the missus, you deserve it. But drive after a few, you deserve it. A road safety message from TIO.
Do you know a family in crisis? Contact the North Australian Aboriginal Family Violence Legal Service. We provide legal advice, representation, referral services and support to family and community. Break the chains of family violence today. Healing NT Families. For more information, call us today.
Patrons are reminded that TIO Stadium is strictly a non-smoking venue and that patrons wishing to smoke must use the areas provided.
For Territorians, the roads are more than bitumen. They connect us. For TIO, it's the same. For taking us on safe journeys, for travelling free, for twists and turns, for turning the corner, for taking you back to health. Road safety for Territorians.
Amart Sports is your home of great sports with all the gear you need. Get a massive range of fitness, cycling, sporting equipment and games with clothing for any reason and footwear for all the seasons. From the biggest sporting brands in the world for the very best prices guaranteed. If you're a footy fanatic or a freak for fitness, relish the racket or bikes are your business. Amart Sports has got you covered with 50 stores Australia-wide. For a great range of great brands at great prices, get in store or shop online at Amart Sports today.
Stop heat stress before it starts. Geminex has a wide range of hydration products, including camelbacks and cooling vests, air skis and coolers, rehydration drinks and accessories, all designed to ensure your safety in the sun. For a limited time, purchase a box of 20 Squincher 3.8 litre powder concentrate sachets and receive 2 3.8 litre coolers absolutely free while stocks last. Rehydrate, restore and recharge at Geminex, Winnelli and Pinelands.
Every cigarette you smoke inside your car hurts the ones you love. And some of them don't have a choice. The next time you decide to have a cigarette, think about who else you're hurting. Smoking can kill those close to you. For help, call the Quit Line.
Hello, Dave Kennedy from AFL NTV with your insight into the Premier League. Well, the big movement on the Premier League ladder actually came at the bottom this week. Waratah finally registered another win to take them to 8 points. It's still St Mary's clear on top of the ladder from Nightcliff, Southern Districts, the Tiwi Bombers and Palmerston. Wanderers are the team outside the 5 at the moment. The Buffaloes lost last week means they won't be playing finals this year. Matthias Liddy leads the way in the goal kicking, half a ton from him and he's 2 ahead of Darren Ewing. Willie Farah's next, then Thomas Motlop. Ross Tungatalum sneaks into the top 5 for the first time this year.
I'm Noah. And I'm Ruby. We want to let you know that registrations for junior football are now open. Grab your friends and sign up to play our game. We play footy because we love it. To join your local club, visit playafl.com.au.
After a hard day's work, you deserve it. When you're catching up with mates, you deserve it. Grabbing a bite with the missus, you deserve it. But drive after a few, you deserve it. A road safety message from TIO.
Do you know a family in crisis? Contact the North Australian Aboriginal Family Violence Legal Service. We provide legal advice, representation, referral services and support to family and community. Break the chains of family violence today. Healing NT Families. For more information, call us today.
For Territorians, the roads are more than bitumen. They connect us. For TIO, it's the same. For taking us on safe journeys, for travelling free, for twists and turns, for turning the corner, for taking you back to health. Road safety for Territorians.
AFL Northern Territory are committed to providing a safe environment for all patrons. To report any antisocial behaviour, text the issue and your location to 0498 062 213. Please note, responses cannot be sent.
Amart Sports is your home of great sports with all the gear you need. Get a massive range of fitness, cycling, sporting equipment and games with clothing for any reason and footwear for all the seasons. From the biggest sporting brands in the world for the very best prices guaranteed. If you're a footy fanatic or a freak for fitness, relish the racket or bikes are your business. Amart Sports has got you covered with 50 stores Australia-wide. For a great range of great brands at great prices, get in store or shop online at Amart Sports today.
Stop heat stress before it starts. Geminex has a wide range of hydration products, including camelbacks and cooling vests, air skis and coolers, rehydration drinks and accessories, all designed to ensure your safety in the sun. For a limited time, purchase a box of 20 Squincher 3.8 litre powder concentrate sachets and receive 2 3.8 litre coolers absolutely free while stocks last. Rehydrate, restore and recharge at Geminex, Winnelli and Pinelands.
What did he say?
He says you can see quite well.
Every eye is an eye. When you're doing the surgery there, that is just as important as if you were doing eye surgery on the Prime Minister or the King.
Yeah. He's going to be all right.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium here in Marara. Another perfect evening for football. Start that again. Perfect evening for football. And it is a great contest in front of us. 6-4-40 the Tiwi Bombers. They lead the Palmerston Magpies 4-3-27. And there is a big second half coming up. Dave Kennedy's my name, and I'm joined by Gray Morris from NT News. DK and Gray here with you for the second half of this game. Gray, earlier today we've seen Nightcliff beat Wanderers. Southern Districts annihilate the Buffaloes. Who's going to win this one?
Well, you put me on the spot, haven't you? I picked the Magpies to win this, and I think if they can hang in there for another quarter and persist and harass the Tiwis, they're a big chance. But the Tiwis, at this stage, would be favourites. But it's real finals football, David, and that's what we love to watch.
AFL NTV action is underway after half time, and we look like we might get a secondary stoppage to start things off. Nope. Free kick, and it's going the Magpies' way from the stoppage.
Yes, Mr. Height lying on the ball there. Made no effort to get rid of it. There's a big fellow again who spilled a mark.
He finds space, doesn't he, Gray? He's just his disposals let him down slightly today. Here's Shanahan over the footy, wins the ball, and then feeds it out to Elwyn Davey, who goes laterally to Pierce Little inside 50. Mark dropped there by Mungatopi. The Bombers have time to work it out of defence. Marine needs to be clean, and he's not quite on that occasion. So a ball up inside 50 for the Magpies, which gives us a chance to read out a tweet. Tuning into the dulcet tones of @Gray Morris and @Dave Kennedy _ on #AFLNTV, #shoutout, #MagpiesVTiwi. That's come from Brad Stewart. Surprised he has time to watch the...
yes, tied up with the A-League nowadays, isn't it?
Time to watch this brand of football. It's too busy with the other one, I thought. Meantime, play continues. Emery tries to spin out of trouble. Can't quite get out. The ball's still free, though. The umpire letting it go. Little. Hands off only as far as Mullins. Throws it on the boot. Lindsay, the submarine. Randy Mungatopi. Roy Cantilla. It cleared everyone. And Cantilla was waiting out the back, and he might get it again here, Gray. Ozzy Wanamiri tried to tap it over the top, but Randy Mungatopi was aware of it, and he did well. Read the play, gathered the footy. Went to Aaron Davey towards Pierce Little. Mullins comes over the top, across the front. Punches it out of play. Boundary throw in right in front of our commentary position, Gray.
Pierce looked a little bit disappointed with that pass from Aaron. I think he wanted a little bit more weight on it. But they are forward of the middle. That's the most important thing.
And it's been there for most of this term. Aaron Davies slaps it towards his goals. Pierce Little makes sure that Jono Mullins runs out of room. Boundary throw in about 10 metres further up the field for the Magpies.
Have to maintain the intensity of the Magpies. Stick to their opponent like glue.
Where do they find a goal? Charlton White might have been thrown forward, I think, and then Holt Tubbs is also there. But it's the Bombers that win the clearance. Christian Height up towards Cantilla. Didn't quite take it. Donald Mungatobi to Lachlan Durkay. Christian Height. Rupert Papungamiri bursts his way through. He's back up and running, the big fella. Can't quite control it. Loses the footy in the process. And then Gary Purantatamiri upended, holding the ball, says the umpire. Aaron Davey. He's out wide. Wants to try and get around Petrie. Does well. Kicks up towards Emery. It goes out of play.
Once again from Aaron, he just did about 5% off accuracy. They really have to hit their teammates on the chest, the Maggies. Use the ball well, and they'll be right in this. Well, really, they're in it now, aren't they?
They are. Mullins dispossessed by Davey, but Height gathered the loose footy, kicked up to the wing. Cantilla had it taken away by Toby Cameron. His kick, though, is no good. Adam Tippenwoody cuts it off and wants to switch play immediately. He's got a runner. Albert Tippenwoody streams through the middle of TIO, puts it in the Liddy direction. Had to come from behind. Ross Tungatalam gathered the loose footy. A little shimmy. He takes a bounce and then casually pops it through. Ross Tungatalam, you are a genius.
See, this is the frustration of playing the Tiwi Bombers, Dave. They were all out. They worked their butts off, the Magpies, to get some type of score on the board. The ball gets run forward, and the wizardry there of young Adam Tippenwoody, and of course the goal kicker there, Ross Tungatalam, and lo and behold, it's what is it now, a 19-point margin.
Apologies for any technical difficulties we're having on the stream at the moment. It looks like our stream health isn't the greatest, but hopefully you are getting us loud and clear as we're about to restart proceedings here in the middle of the ground. 19 points the difference. Quickly go through some goal kickers. The only multiple on the ground is Simon Munkara with 2 singles to Ross Tungatalam, Roy Cantilla, Lindsay Marine, Ozzy Wanamiri and Adam Tippenwoody. While for Palmerston, goals to Aaron Lonigan, Aaron Davey, Jack Shanahan and Lachlan Durkay. The Bombers go forward through Meeson to Marine, into the pocket. Mark is dropped there by Simon Munkara. Ozzy Wanamiri. Oh, what a clever handball to Simon Munkara! Into the goal square. It didn't quite have the distance.
Yes, opportunism there from the Tiwi Bombers, the multi-talented Tiwi Bombers.
Aaron Davey to himself, and then down the middle of the ground. Russell.
That's better from the big fellow.
Yes, he takes it cleanly this time in the Dukes grey, and then pumps it out wide. Aaron Lonigan's got a few to beat, but Brodie Bennett weighted down and then just pumped it inside 50. This is a kick for territory. They'd call this in rugby union a kick for touch grey, and it's perfect.
Yes, rugby union. Only game in the world when you get the ball and boot it out of bounds and everyone claps.
It's a strange phenomenon, isn't it?
But the players that play it say it's a game made in heaven, so a game played in heaven, sorry.
Yes.
So how can we criticise? But we aren't, we're just expressing an opinion, though.
We are. Back into play. Papungamiri, Height, wins the ball, and then Ross Tungatalam sits underneath this one. Didn't quite take the mark. It doesn't matter. There's one bounce. Hands off. Bradley Palapamini to Dion Munkara. There's 3 premierships between them for the Bombers. Inside 50 towards Liddy. Couldn't quite take the mark. Pettigrew. He's upended. They're under pressure here, the Magpies. Toby Cameron. Dion Munkara tries to come through. Cameron still trails his opponent to the footy. Eventually Russell comes in and mops things up for the Magpies. And they're out of trouble, at least momentarily.
Yes, those pacey breakaways, they're starting to hurt the Magpies.
The Bombers go on the offensive once again. Mullins towards Rupert Papungamiri. Lost his footing. Very inopportune time. Here it is, Papungamiri versus Aaron Davey. There's a bit of a speed difference. Davey wins out in the end. Kicks in board. His kick wasn't great once again, Gray. Put his teammate there under immense pressure, but they win a free kick in the end. So Lonigan just backwards of the wing. Short and inboard. Bennett.
This guy's been very good. Once again, they must find a pathway to goal, Dave.
With this is not the right path for me.
No, you're right.
In my opinion, Shanahan put under immense pressure. Mullins takes it out of play. Boundary throw in gives us a chance to read the right reply from Brad Stewart. Tuning into the dulcet tone, what has he said? Hashtag DK and Gray, hashtag Go Socceroos. No, I don't like that. Hashtag Rocco, hashtag Smooth as Silk. Marty Hockings also joined in. Almost perfect telecast today. Hashtag No Gremlins. Hashtag Norlunga Football Club. Good to have Marty, Uncle Munga, watching on.
Down south of Adelaide there, Nalunga, of course, famous for its beaches and the home of South Adelaide Football Club.
Interesting. Have a look at this, Brad Stewart. It stacks on the mill. And the players are just waxing lyrical at the moment. And we'll have a ball up.
Yes, the Magpies need to be within a couple of goals at three-quarter time. Howard, Dean Rioli and his coaching staff would love to have a Cameron Cloak standing in the goal square.
Yeah, even a Josh Bennett or a Mark Hamilton as well.
Mark Hamilton, of course, we're without too. He's been pinged. I thought he might go there. Number 14.
Toby Cameron. So, Gary Purantatamiri sends the Bombers into orbit. Ross Tungatalam weighted down. It just clean bowled everyone. It's inside 50. Cantilla tried to go off the ground. That was dangerous. It's going to be a free kick to Damaso. Inside defensive 50 for the Magpies. Goes out wide. Emery. And now down the line. Lonigan jumped early. Cleared him though. Cooper. Good handball. Baden. Got around one. Got around a second. Tumbles one towards goal. It's just touched by Miles on the last line of defence. And a behind. 9.5 minutes gone. 7-5-47 the Bombers. The Magpies 4-4-28.
Had a real chance in the Magpies. I'm sure young Baden would have liked to have put a bit more Weet-Bix behind that kick, you would think.
You would think, and this is what the Bombers do really well. McElwee from rebound 50. That was a terrible kick, though. It all came unstuck. Broderick Church. This is a good kick. Up towards half forward. Mark is taken here by Shanahan. Wants players to lead towards him. Now he goes into the pocket. Charlton wiped the target. Dropped the mark. Really should have taken it. And they just force it out of play. It's a boundary throw in inside 50. The Magpies have it where they need it, Gray, but they need more than anything to kick a goal at the moment.
That's what they call 1%ers in football. You've got to take advantage of opportunities like that. And if you looked at Charlton White's face then, the grimace, an opportunity that's gone.
Bombers not clean at the takeaway, and Baden got it back, and a mark inside 50 here for Gilbert.
Just looking at the Magpie forward line, fairly stagnant though. There's not much movement there. A couple of hands up in the air. So he's going to have a shot. No, what's he done?
He's going to go centrally. It's a terrible kick. It doesn't come off because Ross Tungatalam. Oh, great tackle. Tyron Baden. Advantage given. Damaso inside 50. Oh, it's a comedy of errors from both sides. In the end, Rupert Papungamiri got it off to Tarin Petrie, who then just pumped it to space. There's 3 Magpies there and only 1 Bomber. In the end, it's the Bomber Cantilla that wins it. Goes into the pocket. Liddy hasn't kicked a goal today. This time he takes the mark. Pettigrew's done a great job on him, as you'd expect, Gray.
Been very good, Ashley, as the former Port Adelaide player. But the game's starting to get away from the Magpies. They can't find an avenue to goal. And of course, they've got to repel any transitional play from the Tiwis, which is what we're watching now, Dave.
Here we go. Matthias Liddy. He's got a booming kick on him, Gray. And he is the current leader of the Dennis Dunn Trophy. And that is exactly why. What a brilliant set shot from Matthias Liddy.
Yes, the first time that he's actually got away from Pettigrew. He's made it count with a beautiful kick there from deep in the forward pocket, which lifts them out to a 25-point lead. It's going to be hard for the Magpies to peg it back. They've only kicked 4 for the game, 4 goals. In fact, 4-4 is 28 points, so they'd have to almost kick the. Well, they would have to kick the score again to even be in front.
Well, the game's starting to get away from the Magpies. 8-5-53, the Bombers, after an opportunistic goal from Matthias Liddy from downtown, really.
Yes, and next goal very important, Dave. I think the Magpies have a big barrel here from Frog, Davey.
It is inside 50. Charlton White left it behind. Mungatopi sharked it, and there's the instant response.
Which one's that, number 11?
Oh, that's Durkay, I should say. Lachlan Durkay kicks the goal.
Yes, beautifully worked goal, but they need more of that. Straight down the middle. I think the Frog worked it out, a big barrel. He was a lucky recipient last week, you may recall, of a barrel that went over the back and he kicked the winning goal.
I do recall that, Gray, yep. So Lockie Durkay, that's 2 goals for him.
Yep, number 11. He's been effective, but probably hasn't been as consistent as the coaching staff would like.
Matt Campbell sent us a tweet, Gray. It says, hashtag Tungatalum for Nichols, hashtag makes it look easy. So we've got another one on my campaign there, Gray.
Yes, Matthew Campbell would know. Very knowledgeable man is MC, the North Adelaide champion.
Would have been disappointed with what he saw in the Buffaloes game. Here's that man, Ross Tungatalum. Look at that handball. Roy Cantilla couldn't quite pick it up. Little, in and under. Shanahan. Church at half back. Squares it up to Little. It's still at centre half back, the Magpies.
Very dangerous ploy against the Tiwi to go sideways, especially in the back line.
Oh,
as you can see here.
Just about to come unstuck. Marine didn't take the mark. Papungamiri went to ground, scooped it out to Priest, to Marine, to Petrie. Back towards Papungamiri. Got up reasonably high and then he regathered his own footy. Papungamiri still...
He is a fair dinkum freak, is Rupert.
He is still running rings around them. Got it to Roy Cantilla, who went with a barrel. Didn't come off. It might bounce out of play.
They're playing a free here, are they? For holding. Looks like it.
There is a free. And it looks like Simon Munkara might get the free kick, Gray.
Yes, well... bit of desperation there by the Magpie defence to try and keep the veteran out of it. But KG Simon, the pieman, is about to kick his 3rd, I think.
In he comes. Simon Munkara sends it home. Another one for the Bombers, another one for Simon Munkara.
Yes, and hasn't he been a welcome addition to the Tiwi forward line the last couple of weeks? Bit of experience.
Well, let's have a chat about that forward line, Gray. You've got Willie Rioli to come back in. Potentially Jared Cunningham might come back in.
Seems to have dropped off the radar a bit.
Have a
Cunningham,
look at that.
I'm not quite sure what's happening there. He's playing Div 1.
What a beautiful shot that is. We've got... I don't know how we're getting that shot. Is it photoshopped? That's an amazing... The moon. That might be going on the highlights reel. We've got a nice... There it is, the red moon.
Yes, man on the moon.
Apparently, Gray, if you get to an 85th wedding anniversary, you get moonstone. That's the rock of choice.
Okay.
There's an interesting fact for the day. Randy Mungatopi, meantime, at half back. Short, dangerous. Comes off. Gilbert takes the mark. Oh, sorry, Aaron Davey, I should say, takes the mark. And then a good kick from him in towards the middle of the ground. Toby Cameron. Wider still. This is a good build-up from the Magpies. Must score, you feel. Shanahan. Wider still again. And then just loading up. They all fly. No one quite comes down with it. Cameron was there, so was Holt Tubbs. It goes through for a minor score.
That's where you would like to have an Owen Davey at the base of a pack there to pick up a crumb, as he did many times at Essendon. But the blue-booted Frog was elsewhere, unfortunately. There he is, number 3, the number reward Essen for 100 games, Dave.
Christian Height. Long in the Meeson direction. Russell weighted down. There's a free kick though. Bomber free kick to Lindsay Marine. Aaron Davey not happy about it. Christian Height wants it short. Ignores that. Goes to Petrie. Near enough the same position though. Still 80 metres out from goal. Now the mark's taken. And kick inside 50. Not sure who that was. It wasn't Owen Henry though, as down in the team sheet, Gray.
No, I don't think Owen's out there, is he? Henry, Owen Henry, of course.
Free kick inside 50 though.
Yes, I think this will put them 5 goals down, Dave, so the game getting away from them.
So we go to Wanamiri.
Not good for the Palmerston faithful, but certainly the Tiwis seemingly, Dave, in control.
In comes Wanamiri. This would really put a big dent in the Palmerston Magpies' finals aspirations. Wanamiri makes no mistake.
Yes, his second goal to the man they call Aussie. Short for Austin. The Bathurst Island ball burster, they call him.
The Bathurst Island ball burster, and look at that red moon there. That's just a beautiful shot. I don't know. Do you get to make a wish or something on a red moon, Gray? Or?
Well, you can, and they say the moon contains cheese as well. Although red cheese, I'm not too sure about.
Classic.
Maybe you can get red cheese in Europe somewhere, but meanwhile, back at the ranch here, the Magpies need to.
Well, you can have
the next couple.
You can have a blue moon, and you can have blue cheese. So maybe
that's true.
More appropriate. Inside 50, the Magpies. Shanahan couldn't quite. Durkay. Can they find a goal? Shanahan. He found himself in room. Didn't have anyone to kick to. Thought about it though and got it into Brodie Bennett. So the Magpies can go back here through Bennett.
Is that a 50? No, it's not. I thought he got him a bit late after he'd taken the mark, but the umpire said no, it was well earned.
Well, Brodie Bennett, another important kick. They've lost touch, the Magpies. They're 31 points down. This would be to reduce it to 25. Remembering, of course, Gray, that last week the Magpies came back from 32 points down. This week they're 31 points down, and now Bennett
has kicked a sausage roll, I think.
Kicks the goal and starts the comeback.
We've got some fans on the outside of the broadcast box here, Dave, which is always good to see.
Always good to see. Brodie Bennett.
Let's hope they've got AFL and TV tuned in at home. They might not be watching it here, but I'm sure their mum and dad are.
AFL NTV, we're getting plenty of tweets coming through. Marty Hocking, great telecast tonight, fellas. Get at Gray Morris to give us a wave. I can tell you now, Uncle Munga, he's just given a wave. We don't have a camera in the box. We might do for the finals. Who knows?
Yes, the great Marty Hocking. What a great servant he was at the Magpies for so many years before he went down south to give his boy a chance at the big time.
And, of course, Gray, at the moment, there's a chance that we might not be broadcasting the finals, so it's disappointing. We need the punters to get on board and lobby AFL NT to make sure that we get to call the finals.
I think it has to happen, really. Certainly, my mates over in England enjoy your dulcet tones, your Rex Huntisms.
Oh, and they'd enjoy that from Aussie Wanamiri. From outside 50, suddenly the Magpies and the Bombers are going goal for goal.
Yes, Aussie Wanamiri gets his third goal. And the work rate of the Magpies just starting to drop off a bit here, Dave. It's their 5th goal this quarter too, which is soul destroying. They say it's the championship quarter, and lo and behold, who was lifted in this quarter? Ross Tungatallum and Austin Wantameri. This goes to show when champions want to go, they go. They flick the switch.
30 points the difference on AFL NTV as we recommence. Aaron Davey, I should say. Try to get the handball off. The Bombers have just pushed it forward. It's inside 50 once again. Wesley Black. Haven't called his name too many times tonight. Jonathan Mullins. He needs to get it out. Umpire gave him an eternity to get it out. And then found a free kick for a hold. So it's going to go the Magpies' way. Inside their defensive 50. The game's...
Yeah, see, there's a bit of a hum around the crowd now.
50 metres.
Now, Dave, 50. Was that a bit of back chat? Lo and behold. Here's a big lump of a lad here too. Is that Wesley Black? Obviously been dining out on Dugong by the look of it.
I think that's old Rupert Gray.
Closest to us here, can't see him from here, yep.
Oh, Wesley Black just in the foreground, yep. Here's Owen Davey.
19, is that Wesley?
It is. Davey's kick to a dangerous spot is pretty good. Lonigan somehow emerged, but his kick went well wide of the mark. So out of bounds on the full. And a free kick to the Bombers on the last line of defence. 5 goals. The difference as we tick towards 3/4 time on AFL NTV. The pack forms. Davey weighted down. That's Elwyn Davey. Try to knock it out. Now Aaron Davey. Handball into the congestion. McMahon, Emery, Elwyn Davey to the hot spot. Holt Tubbs in front, very strong. Could almost be 50. It is. So Holt Tubbs is going to kick a late goal here for the Magpies and just keep any sort of hope alive for the Magpies supporters as we tick towards 3/4 time. In he comes, kicks the goal. 4 goals the difference now.
Yes, Keaton's had a reasonable game too. He's certainly been, his work rate cannot be questioned. He has taken a couple of powerful marks and given a couple of goals off, so he certainly earned his pay packet for the night. But I still reckon the big arms of Cameron Cloaker or Mark Hamilton down there would have created a few headaches among the Tiwi backline.
Even a Jeddah, like, he's been phenomenal, and we were expecting him to come. But,
far from disgraced at this stage, though, the Maggies. They haven't given up, which is terrific. Here they come again.
Long kick inside 50. Lonigan's there, couldn't take the mark. Vivian Kiranua, little one over the top. Now Height goes back, finds Petrie.
Aren't they terrific at spotting up players, these Tiwis?
They certainly are. Adam Tipperwoody.
It's almost done on instinct sometimes.
Maybe just a little bit of cramp for him. 25 and a half, almost 26 minutes gone. Really close to 3/4 time. Ross Tungatallum finds himself at half back. They're not in any hurry, the Tiwi Bombers. He points long and goes in that direction. Munkara couldn't quite take the mark. Clever little kick along the ground. Got the 1-2 with Meeson. Then was dispossessed. Unlucky not to get a free kick there, the Magpies. And then it went out of play. Just forward of centre wing for the Magpies. There's the 3/4 time siren. So at 3/4 time, 4 goals in it. It's the Magpies trailing 7-5-47. Plays 11-5-71. The final quarter of action on AFL NTV coming up after this short break. Make sure you hang around, because this last quarter is sure to be exciting and exhilarating.
After a hard day's work, you deserve it. When you're catching up with mates, You deserve it. Grabbing a bite with the missus. You deserve it. But drive after a few. You deserve it. A road safety message from TIO.
Every cigarette you smoke inside your car hurts the ones you love. And some of them don't have a choice. The next time you decide to have a cigarette, think about who else you're hurting. Smoking can kill those close to you. For help, call the Quit line.
Do you know a family in crisis? Contact the North Australian Aboriginal Family Violence Legal Service. We provide legal advice, representation, referral services and support to family and community. Break the chains of family violence today. Healing NT Families. For more information, call us today.
For Territorians, the roads are more than bitumen. They connect us. For TIO, it's the same. For taking us on safe journeys, for travelling free, for twists and turns, for turning the corner, for taking you back to health. Road safety for Territorians.
Kmart Sports is your home of great sports with all the gear you need. Get a massive range of fitness, cycling, sporting equipment and games with clothing for any reason and footwear for all the seasons. From the biggest sporting brands in the world for the very best prices guaranteed. If you're a footy fanatic or a freak for fitness, relish the racket or bikes are your business. Kmart Sports has got you covered with 50 stores Australia-wide. For a great range of great brands at great prices, get in store or shop online at Kmart Sports today.
Stop heat stress before it starts. Geminex has a wide range of hydration products, including camelbacks and cooling vests, Eskies and coolers, rehydration drinks and accessories, all designed to ensure your safety in the sun. For a limited time, purchase a box of 20 Squincher 3.8 litre powder concentrate sachets and receive 2 3.8 litre coolers absolutely free while stocks last. Rehydrate, restore and recharge at Geminex, Winnelli and Pinelands.
Final quarter of action coming up here at TIO Stadium. The Bombers in control here. Stranger things have happened though. The Magpies in pursuit of them. Dave Kennedy's my name, joined by Gray Morris from NT News. 4 goals in this one. And we are back underway as Dion Munkara kicks it up towards the attacking 50. Ross Tungatalum. He palms one off, loses his footing, gets around another, runs in and kicks a magnificent goal. Ross Tungatalum has just dobbed another amazing goal, Gray.
Yes, and he may have found a hammer in his back pocket and hammered a nail into the Magpie coffin, Dave. I reckon that 30 points is a big deficit in a low-scoring game, and he may be your favourite player, but I can tell you he's the favourite of the Tiwi faithful too. Magnificent skills, evasive skills in particular, and a very effective finish, which is most important.
Well, as you said, Gray, when the game was there to be won there in the third quarter, he stepped up along with the other leaders there for the Bombers. And there's big Wesley Black throwing his weight around once again.
Yes, and can I reiterate that Wesley Black is the man who dines on Dugong, not Wesley Black.
Not Aaron Wesley Black down at West Adelaide.
I don't think he'd even know what a Dugong is, would he?
Hello to Aaron if you're watching, mate.
In fact, I reckon if he was confronted by one, he would run 100 yards the other way because they are big creatures.
Classic. Here's Pierce Little at half back.
Whoops.
Forced to play on. Kick wasn't good. Rupert Papungamiri got it. Got the handball off. The inverse torpedo punt to Jonathan Mullins. Oh, he sucked the umpire in here, Simon Munkara.
Yes, a bit of experience. In fact, if you could focus in now on Simon's face, he'd be smirking, I reckon. He's milked a lovely little mark there that'll go in the books as either a goal or a point. But, yeah, a bit of experience, a bit of con job, as they say in local lingo, Dave.
In comes Simon Munkara for goal number 4. Has he got it? Not quite. Gray, in the defence of the umpires, the umpiring after a tough week has been pretty good this round so far.
Yes, well, they've paid very few Tippy Touchwood. I can pick out a couple that they've certainly paid Tippy Touchwood, but I mean, as we get close to the finals, I'm sure Mark Noonan would agree, and of course he'll be listening, is they must start letting the game go a bit, and as the intensity lifts, there's no good pulling free kicks out, left, right and centre. It's finals football, this. Well, this is the finals preview, really, isn't it? But certainly the umpires have to move along, and yeah, you're right, let the physicality come to the fore.
Here's Cantilla. It's a very, very slow and long run up, and he got close to the man on the mark, didn't quite make the distance, punched through by the big ruckman, Daniel Russell.
Started to run over the top here of the Maggies, unfortunately. I'm sure Marty Hocking down there is watching. His beloved Magpies as Frog tries to get them going.
Elwyn Davies short, not a good kick. Dion Munkara intercepts. And he's not in any hurry either.
As I said earlier in the telecast, Dave, you've got to get within reach of the Tiwis, because if they get a bit of space between you and them, they can make it very painful indeed.
Dion Munkara.
Well, that'll be very painful for Dion too, I think.
Makes a mess of that. He won't be happy with himself.
Yes, they work very hard, the Maggies, but I think they've run out of a bit of steam here now.
Alwyn Davey, short and wide. Donald Mungatopi. Sorry, Lachlan Durka, I should say. In dispute there, the half back line, Jack Shanahan. A couple of spins there. What's going on here? Whistle. What do we got? Out of bounds, I think. So, at the moment, the margin 32 points here on AFL NTV. Bit of a lull in this game.
Yes, we're all taking a deep breath here, Dave, I think, after a pretty good game of footy.
in dispute.
I didn't put the score on the screen.
And
Sorry, Dave.
no worries, Mark. I'm just putting our scoreboard back up on.
And in fact, the clock thinks we're in the third quarter, but the time is correct.
You might have heard that, viewers, as well. It's actually the final quarter of action, but we'll leave it so that the time is correct. Don't be alarmed. Alwyn Davey kicks up towards centre half forward. Coming up to meet it there, Charlton White.
That's right.
Oh, Little just tries to crash through. Didn't find a way though. Mullins to Meeson to Miles. Back to Miles. And now McMahon inside 50. Kick is good. Shanahan got around Miles. Went left, went right, went back on the left and kicked a pretty good goal.
That was Jack Shanahan, was it?
It was.
I wonder whether he's related to the Shanahan that played at Melbourne, and in fact he was on Melbourne's list, I'm sure, Jack, at one stage, which is probably why he's up here playing with the Davey boys, or at least with Aaron, his former teammate. Oh, they sniffed, Dave. 26 points the difference. Very nice goal, but they probably need the next couple in a real hurry.
They would, and if there's one team that can score in a hurry, it's the Tiwi Bombers.
Yeah.
But the Magpies are the ones that need to do it this time.
They're not an easy thing to sell, are they?
Yes, and I think that's the problem.
Here we go. Up in the middle, Russell.
Yep.
Won the tap down. Emery. They might win the clearance here, Gray. They're not done with yet. The Magpies inside 50. Aaron Davey. Perfect kick finds Tyron Baden. And suddenly, the Magpies can sense a sniff.
Terrific signs here for Palmerston, Dave. 32 points down and facing a rampaging Tiwi, and if he kicks this, they're within 20.
In comes Baden, a very important kick, and he absolutely nails it. 20 points the difference on AFL NTV. Hello.
Yes, and my good mate Marty Hocking, the Magpie man down there in Malunga, was about to turn his television off, but he's just switched it on again because the Magpies are back in this, Dave. They've lifted. They've just sensed, I think, that the Tiwis have taken their foot off the gas a bit. And two very quick goals. But they have to hold now because you know what the Tiwis can do? They'll take it straight down to their goals and go bang.
Wow.
If given any room.
We saw what happened last week, Gray. The Magpies worked their way back into it, and they ended up just falling over the line. What will happen here? Well, we got about another 20 minutes until we find out, if that, probably 15 minutes.
Whoops.
The Bombers go inside 50. Munkara. That's Dion Munkara, I should say.
That guy's been very good tonight too, Jamie Damaso.
He has.
Can hold his head up high. However, another turnover, Dave.
Vivian Kiranua. Gary Purantatamiri. Still no Jason Purantatamiri in this Bombers side either, Gray.
No, the boy with the pigtail, he has been absent.
Priest just wobbles one inside 50. Matthias Liddy didn't gather it cleanly. Alex Johnson. Now Lachlan Durkay. Emery off the ground.
Here we go. The Frog, can he get him going?
Froggy Davey. Just kick wide. Maybe heard the call from Rupert, because that's exactly where it went. And then a high kick up towards centre half forward. That was clumsy from Liddy. Cleaned up Randy Mungatopi. Then his kick was no good either. Went to Pettigrew in the end somehow.
Probably Palmerston's best player, I'd say, Dave, although he overran that one.
And then Cooper, and now Randy Mungatopi mops up his own poor work. Now Aaron Davey. The Magpies are working their way right back into this. Long kick up towards the hot spot. The pack forms. Alwyn Davey waited out the back, and the margin is back to 14 points. Here come the Magpies, Gray.
Terrific. This is a real lifter for the Magpies. They've just called on reserves of courage, and a lot of people didn't think they had, but I'm sure Dean Riola and his coaching staff did. This is a terrific comeback. It just goes to show the Magpies are the real deal, Dave.
Oh, wow. Well,
as a certain scribe did predict at the beginning of the season, but I won't mention his name.
Geez, great. Your words are teetering on edge at the moment. The Magpies need to win. And
that's right.
They're still 14 points behind, but all the momentum is wearing black and white at the moment. 3-0 this quarter. The Magpies' way. One of the goals went to that man, Tyron Baden. Now Russell and Emery work things out, and they go out wide. Mark is taken by Gilbert. Over the top once again. And now Cooper. Look at this. The Magpies are really building up here. Cooper goes inside 50. Shanahan waited behind. So did Tyron Baden. Then he went around the corner. Missed. Just missed to the left-hand side. 11 minutes gone. Final term here. And it's the Magpies trailing by 13 points, Gray.
Had a teammate who could have unloaded a handball there too, but obviously fancied himself on the around the corner shot, as you said, but unfortunately missed by about a metre.
Short kick in, marked by Christian Height. Now Height's kick puts his teammate McElwee under a lot of pressure, and now a free kick going the Magpies' way. Shanahan, hands off, Alwyn Davey. He kicked the last goal. Maybe Aaron can kick the next one. Brings it to ground. Height roved it well, but his kick was terrible. It went straight to Gilbert, who can go back, and Gray, Gilbert can reduce the margin to single digits.
Yes, they've certainly got all the momentum now, the Magpies. There's a bit of panic starting to creep in too with the Tiwis. The best player on the ground there, Christian Height, a frantic kick.
Well, Gilbert has handed off to Emery, who unloads to the goal square. They can't find a mark. Davey tries to soccer it through. It's touched though. Davey's still claiming the goal. The goal umpire not having any of it.
Gee, as Bill Laurie once said, it's all happening.
It is all happening. 2 straight kicks in it. It's the Tiwi Bombers 12-7 leading the Magpies 10-7. Christian Height's got it in the back pocket.
Once again, they've closed off these avenues, and Christian's going to have to go long. He's going to go sideways.
Dangerous kick.
Once again, see that you've got to pressurise these Tiwi boys, make them think.
And there's a couple of Davies involved in working that ball out of play once again there, Gray. The pressure is mounting on the Bombers suddenly.
Gee, the option would have been to go down the line, I think, for a player of Height's experience, but he went sideways, and you never know, this might result in a goal to the Maggies.
Well, it's inside 50, where they want it. Shanahan content to take this one out of play. There is a big crowd here, and would love to hear them a little bit better. I think our effects mics might be able to be turned up slightly so we can hear the crowd a bit better.
The player that's got them going in this quarter too is Justin Emery, Dave.
Yeah, he's
number
been
4.
good.
It's been terrific.
One of the NT Thunder signings for this year. Rupert Papungamiri wanted to handball it in front of himself, and then Tyron Baden got in his way. Rupert Papungamiri got it back, and then he got cleaned up by Little. Got the kick off to Wesley Black in the interim though, and then Wesley Black squares things up. Gary Purantatamiri couldn't take the mark. Randy Mungatopi hit the contest running and then kicked wide. He wants Brodie Bennett to run onto this one. In fact, it's Holt Tubbs to run onto this one. He's claimed though. Vivian Kiranua wrapped him up. Holding the ball, says the umpire. Kiranua didn't take a backward step. He took the advantage, went inside 50 with a little chip and found Wanamiri lace out. Who'll go back and have a shot on goal.
Gee, it's a game of inches, isn't it? If he'd have got possession of that Holt Tubbs, he had players free in the forward half, but because he didn't and was tackled beautifully there by his immediate opponent, we've got Austin Wanamiri lining up for probably the sealer, I'd say, although it's only 14 minutes gone.
In comes Austin Wanamiri.
I don't know, this is on the big screen.
He's a seasoned professional. He's already kicked 2 goals tonight, and he's missed this one though. Still a handy point though, Gray.
Yes, that gets him out to 13 points, the Devils' number. Will it be lucky for the Magpies, though? Although they have missed a couple of opportunities in the last few minutes, too, that when they could have goaled.
Short mark
This
taken
guy's
by
been magnificent, hasn't he?
Pettigrew. Yeah, he's been really good, and so is this man as well, Emery.
Here's the guy that lifted them through the engine room, which is where you've got to beat the Tiwis.
No one going to him, so he just keeps on going. Eventually draws the man out wide. Shanahan, he's been pretty good as well. Got around Lindsay Marine. Looked up for options. Went into the pocket. The target there, Charlton White, couldn't take the mark. It spills out of play. The boundary umpire has plenty of work to catch up to this one.
You just think that time clock on the big scoreboard, they're starting to work against the Magpies. Nearly 16 minutes gone. And they need the next couple at least to get within reach.
Well, can they find a score from this clearance? It's
in front of the NT News Sunday Territorian sign. Don't forget to go and buy your paper if you're living in Darwin.
back into play. Meeson tapped it down. Aaron Davies there, though. Handball out. Shanahan raffles it off with Emery. Kicks in board. No mark taken there. The Bombers under pressure. Alwyn Davey almost lost his footing. Got back to his feet and missed to the left-hand side.
It's a game of inches, isn't it?
It is.
If that had been 1.5 feet to the right, or what is it now? 65 centimetres. It would have opened this game right up.
Priest dropped the mark, had time to mop up though, and short to Mullins. So the Bombers, this is where, when they lose their mojo, they start to turn the footy over great. This one is just a kick into space. Cantilla did well to run onto it. They chase, but they can't catch him. 2 bounces. Roy Cantilla takes a 3rd bounce, runs inside 50. This one goes across the face of goal. In fact, it doesn't score. Christian Height might kick a goal in the last line of defence. Eventually, they rush it through. Minor score. Handy point once again, Gray.
Yes, and a fantastic chase by the big fellow from the Magpies, Russell. Obviously used to being out there in the war zones because he can run and chase those bad guys. Great run by the big fellow. He certainly pressured Cantilla enough.
McMahon went up towards half-back. Now Randy Mungatopi. He wants Keaton Holt-Tubbs to bring it to ground or take the mark. Couldn't quite take the mark. The Bombers had the numbers at ground level and they clear defence to Gary Purantatamiri. He dropped a mark though. He's dropped a few easy marks today. Toby Cameron.
They need a mark inside 50.
Charlton White can't quite take it. And then it's rushed through. They're pressing the Magpies, but they're not capitalising on opportunities, Gray.
That's their 4th successive behind, Dave, so they've obviously had opportunities.
Kiranua to Priest, who's got room if he takes the mark. He dropped it though, and now he's gone. Not quite, just got it away in time. Lachlan Durkay though might cut this one off across the middle of the ground. He does, and then he goes out wide.
18.5 minutes gone, so they need to score.
Here's Lachlan Gilbert. He's got time and space to assess the scene, go inside 50. No mark is taken. Who's at ground level? Albert Tippenwoody's there. So is McElwee, and it spills out of play. Boundary throwing inside 50 for the Magpies, Gray.
Haven't seen the Tiwis make this many mistakes for a long time, Dave. They're certainly very tense, very nervous.
The equation's simple for the Bombers. They win, they play finals. They don't, it's still questionable, and they've got to play St Mary's next week. Miles lays a good tackle, brings things to a standstill. Ball up inside 50, 19 minutes gone.
Certainly rode that Magpie into the ground, but the umpire prefers the throw up. Equaliser.
Well, what can they muster from the congestion? There's a snap-on goal.
5 successive behinds now from the Magpies, Dave.
Misses to the left-hand side. Handy point for the Magpies now, but time really escaping them. They need 2 straight goals, and it's hard to see where they're going to find them. Mullins runs it out of defence, and then a long kick finds McElwee.
You're right,
the ground running.
All it takes is a goal on the transition by the Tiwis, and the game's over.
Oh, Pettigrew played on. Oh, the umpire said
50.
that he hadn't played on. So 50 metres.
They must use this one. What options has he got? Looking down the ground, there's not much movement by the ball, although he's got to run in to where he's going to take the kick, of course.
Matthias Liddy giving away the 50.
Here we go.
He goes wide and finds Randy Mungatopi. What can he do? Oh, he can turn it over to Liddy, who wants to forced back though.
Must keep working though, the Magpies.
Cantillo over the top to Ross Tungatalam, who goes in board, finds Rupert Papungamiri.
They've got to get the ball back.
A goal here would just about seal it for the Bombers. Christian Haidt, oh, he just juggled the mark perfectly. The ball was always within his control. And Christian Haidt, the oxymoron, Gray, has a chance to go back and seal things for the Bombers.
The oxymoron being a very good player though for the Tiwi tonight. Would have only jumped off the plane 24 hours ago, even less.
Well,
can he reach the heights that the Tiwis want him to?
He's been a superb player for the Bombers for a number of years. And Christian Haidt, the veteran, gets the job done.
It's his first goal too, Dave, but been terrific around the ground. Magpies 5 successive behinds, so they've definitely had their chance, but gee, the clock's against them now. They're starting to tick over now to 21 and a half minutes, and they're down by, 17 points.
87. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I think the Bombers are going to get home here, great. But stranger things have happened.
That's right. I should never change it.
Been a terrific game of football, though. A very good dress rehearsal for the finals, Dave, I would say. Any footy fans out there who are missing this will now would have booked their tickets through the AFL NT, I'm sure, to get prime seats in the grandstand.
Yeah. And if they don't, great. Hopefully they'll be watching the action on AFL NTV, but that remains to be seen. Which games we'll be doing in the finals, great. But hopefully we might be.
That's right.
Doing some of the Premier League games.
They can always bring.
Oh, Elwyn Davey was absolutely taken out.
They can always bring their laptop to the finals.
That'd be something, wouldn't it? That's real AFL NTV commitment. Meantime, Holt Tubbs wide.
But those things only happen in the territory too, Dave. So you never know. You might have 6,000 laptops here at Marara.
That'd chew the bandwidth up. We wouldn't be able to stream. Here's Aaron Lonigan. Just pumps it in long. This is where they've needed a tall all night.
Yeah.
Aaron Davies going to kick a goal though, and he brings the margin back to 11 points.
Is it too late though?
I feel like it is, Gray, but geez.
How many goals have we had this quarter? We've got 2 from the Tiwis and 4. So we've got 6, probably a 26-minute quarter we're looking at.
Well, maybe a sniff still for the Magpies. 11-10-76. 13-9-87 the Bombers. 23 minutes gone on AFL NTV.
Yes, as my good friend Mike Sheen, the Herald Sun, one of Joel Bowden's favourite scribes, used to say never in a game of football.
Yeah, I do recall an episode of On the Couch when Joel Bowden was asked whether he'd taken his medicine. And, he wasn't too happy with that line of questioning from Mike, as this one's worked towards the front edge of the centre square by the Bombers. Brodie Bennett tries to come away with it, can't quite.
And the year after.
Can certainly hold their heads up high though, the Maggies. I think time's going to beat them, Dave, although I think those 5 successive behinds are probably what are going to beat them. What are going to beat them. I was going to say what is, but we're talking plural rather than singular. Here we go.
Oh, look what
finger breaker.
Lachlan Durko just unloads, and that's a great mark by young Tyron Baden. Plays on immediately. This might wobble through, Gray. Oh, it's touched. Oh. Sense the occasion, umpire. No, we can't say that.
He must have got a fingernail to that Albert Tippin, would he? In fact, he's holding up his hand. Maybe the fingernail's lying on the ground behind him.
10 points the difference. And geez, it was an ugly, ugly passage of play that almost resulted in a goal. This is going to be close to the boundary line. It's precision from the Bombers.
Boundary umpire right on the spot there. How long left do you think? I'd say a couple of minutes, maybe a minute and a half.
I reckon a couple of seconds, Gray. I don't think there's much time left at all. Ross Tungatalum off the ground on the full. You don't see that often. The Wizard giving away a free kick. It's going to be a free kick to Randy Mungatopi.
Fantastic name, a real American name, isn't it? Randy.
Short to Brodie Bennett. He's got to move it on. Forced to kick long. Look at this. There's a herd of Bombers amongst the Magpies. No one takes the mark. Shanahan weighted down. He kicked up to the hot spot. Can they find a mark, or is that in the back? The umpire has paid a push.
Yes, it was the right decision, but I just thought for a second the umpire was going to let that go. Umpire there, number 5, I think that's Brian Walters.
Aaron Davey just throws his head back and says, I am an absolutely broken man.
Yes, the Tiwi Bombers fans are at full voice. There it is.
It's all over, Gray. The Bombers are finals bound. And isn't it exciting? Palmerston, 11-11-77, defeated by the Tiwi Bombers, 13-9-87. And it was an interesting day of NTFL. The Magpies, they just kept coming. They trailed by as much as how much, Gray? They trailed by
31 points at one stage.
And they almost got back into the match, but in the end they go down by 10 points at the hands of the Tiwi Bombers, who will play St Mary's next week in their round 18 clash and will also take part in this year's finals. Just quickly go through some of the major goal kickers. Simon Munkara was the major goal kicker on the ground. Ross Tungatalum, a couple himself. 3 to Simon Munkara, I should mention. 2 to Ross Tungatalum, 2 to Austin Watamiri. While for Palmerston, 2 to Lachlan Durkay, 2 to Jack Shanahan. And they were the only major goal kickers. But we're going to wrap the coverage up, Gray. Thanks very much for all your help today.
No problems. Always a pleasure to broadcast on AFL NT, Dave.
And it was your winners today, Nightcliff, Southern Districts and the Tiwi Bombers on AFL NTV. A big shout out to Kick Digital, Mark, Ben, Levi and all the team at Kick Digital for all their help. And we love the work that they do on a weekly basis. But from us here on AFL NTV, on Call to Arms round, we say thank you very much and good night.